Adobe Audition CC can display a waveform to indicate amplitude over time, or a spectral frequency display that indicates amplitude at specific frequencies. The spectral frequency display allows you to make selections and adjustments with very high precision. To follow along, copy the assets that accompany this tutorial to your Creative Cloud account. Let's compare these two displays. The waveform shows time moving left to right. The louder the audio is, the taller the waveform is. You'll find the waveform useful for locating sections of audio and for making time selections. The spectral frequency display is accessible by clicking the button at the top of the interface here, or by adjusting the size of the display beneath the waveform. In this display, time still moves left to right, but now the vertical axis indicates frequency. The amplitude is indicated by the brightness of the dots. This more painterly approach makes it possible to identify sections of audio based on their frequency, and, importantly, to make frequency-based selections. Let's try a couple of examples. If you use the waveform to make a time selection, when you use the HUD control to adjust the amplitude, the change is applied to all frequencies. Now, see what happens when you use the Marquee selection tool to choose some frequencies in the spectral frequency display. You can adjust the amplitude for just those frequencies. Just as effects are limited to selections in the waveform, you can limit them to specific frequencies in the spectral frequency display. You can also quickly remove certain frequencies. This clip has a telephone ringing in the background. It's easy to see where the telephone ring is.
Company committed to health and fitness.
Select the telephone ring and press delete to remove it. Let's listen again.
Company committed to health and fitness.
You'll notice there's a paintbrush selection tool to make very precise selections in the spectral frequency display. There's also a spot healing brush tool. Listen to this clip. Select the ringtone with the spot healing brush tool, and in one step, it's removed. So that's the differences between the waveform display and the spectral frequency display, which indicates amplitude at specific frequencies and is great for removing unwanted sounds from your audio. Not only does Adobe Audition provide advanced audio cleanup, effects, and mixing tools, but it also integrates seamlessly with Adobe Premiere Pro CC. There are a couple of approaches to this. Let's take a look at the options. To follow along, copy the assets that accompany this tutorial to your Creative Cloud account. Here, we're in Premiere Pro with a sequence that contains a voice recording that's noisy. Let's listen to what we have. I'm going to click into the timeline and use the spacebar to start and stop playback. This is some voiceover. You'll notice I'm leaving some gaps. Let's use the advanced noise reduction features offered by Audition to clean this up. To send a clip to Audition, select it, go to the Edit menu and choose Edit in Adobe Audition, Clip. Notice that I'm choosing the individual clip option rather than the sequence option, which I'll cover later. Now we're in Audition. Use the Time Selection tool to select the part of the audio that's noisy but shouldn't be. We're going to use this selection to tell Audition which audio to remove. Go to Effects, Noise Reduction and Restoration, Capture Noise Print. After you see the confirmation dialog box, you're ready to apply noise reduction. Deselect by clicking anywhere on the audio once. Because you haven't kept a selection, the change you're about to make will be applied to the whole audio file. Go back to the Effects menu, and this time choose the Noise Reduction category and then Noise Reduction. Right away, if you play from within this dialog box, you can hear an improvement. Here's some voiceover. You'll notice I'm leaving some gaps. There are advanced controls you can use to finesse the result, but I'm happy with the default settings for now, so let's click Apply. This media file is now shared by Premiere Pro and Audition, so all you need to do to hear the result in Premiere Pro is save it. The asterisk next to the file name in the Files panel shows that changes have been made to the file, but they haven't been saved. I'm going to press Ctrl+S now to save. That would be Command+S on macOS. Now let's switch back to Premiere Pro to listen to it. This is some voiceover. You'll notice I'm leaving some gaps. Much better. You can also send a complete sequence from Premiere Pro to Audition to create an advanced mix. Let's do that now. Go to the Edit menu and choose Edit in Adobe Audition, Sequence. There are some pretty straightforward options in this dialog box. I want to draw your attention to just one menu, Video. Keep this menu set to Dynamic Link. Choosing this option means that Premiere Pro will send the video part of this sequence to Audition as a live stream, meaning that changes made in Premiere Pro will update dynamically in Audition. When you click OK in this dialog box, Premiere Pro creates copies of every audio clip in the sequence and produces an XML file based on that sequence, which Audition will open, with the clips all in position, ready to continue working. The Premiere Pro sequence opens in Audition as a multi-track session, and you're ready to work on the mix. Several of these voice clips have differing audio levels, so select them and go to the Essential Sound panel, which provides several advanced audio adjustments in a unified panel. Select Dialog as an audio type, then click on the Unify Loudness heading to display the Auto Match option. Click the Auto Match button to automatically apply a non-destructive ITU loudness standard clip gain adjustment to all the selected clips so they match. The music was digitized from an LP, and it contains some clicks and pops from damage to the original vinyl record. I'm going to solo the music track so we can just hear the music. Let's listen to what we have. To clean up those clicks and pops in the audio, first double-click on the music so it opens in the waveform view. The Diagnostics panel provides a number of tools to analyze and fix audio files. Choose the declicker effect. For this complex audio, set the threshold low to identify more noise and the complexity high to expand the analysis. Click Scan to begin the analysis. The declicker has found a number of clicks and pops, so select Repair All to repair them. And let's listen again. Much better. If you don't get perfect results the first time, you can adjust the threshold and complexity controls, which vary the sensitivity to noise and guide the analysis by establishing the complexity of the original audio. It can take trial and error to find the ideal settings for a particular audio clip. It would be fun if this music gradually slowed down at the end in the way an old-style record player might wind down if it ran out of power. To achieve this effect, go to the Effects menu and choose Time and Pitch, then Pitch Bender. Choose the Turntable Losing Power preset. As soon as you do, you can see the blue pitch control line updating in the waveform display. You can reshape that line manually too, but for now, let's stick to the preset. Click Apply, and let's listen back in the context of our multi-track session. Once you're happy with the mix, you can output it. You might save the multi-track session as a file by going to the multi-track mixdown options. You might also choose to export it to Premiere Pro. In this instance, if you're running Premiere Pro on the same machine, after choosing the format you'd like, the audio will automatically be imported to Premiere Pro and added to your timeline. The option I want to show you is Export to Adobe Media Encoder. Notice there's no opening title on this video. Well, we used Dynamic Link to send the video from Premiere Pro to Audition, so now we can go back to Premiere Pro and add that title. I'm going to drag it into the sequence. Now, back in Audition, you can see the result right away. Let's go to File, Export, Export with Adobe Media Encoder. Choose a Media Encoder format, H.264 is fine, and then choose the preset Match Source High Bitrate. When you click OK, the completed audio mix and the dynamically linked video are sent to Adobe Media Encoder to be encoded as a new file. This means you can produce your sequence in Premiere Pro, send it to Audition for fine audio finishing, and then send it on to Adobe Media Encoder for final output and automatic publishing to a number of video hosting and social media platforms.